He was raised in New York's Little Italy in the 40s, and his American-Italian heritage would become the basis for many of his movies. Martin Scorsese went from the boy from Queens to one of the most prominent directors in movie history. Scorsese has strong relationships with Hollywood's top directors, the influential movie brats, including Francis Ford Coppola, Brian De Palma, George Lucas, and Steven Spielberg. In fact, it was Brian De Palma who introduced Scorsese to a young actor named Robert De Niro. Scorsese's acclaimed movies range from 1970s and 80s cult classics, Mean Streets, Raging Bull, and Taxi Driver, to Goodfellas and Cape Fear in the 90s, and hits Gangs of New York and The Aviator. Suffering from severe asthma as a child, Scorsese was more at home in the darkness of the movie theatre than running around a sports field, and developed a love of the screen, painting, and comic strip drawing. But with his Catholic Italian heritage, there was another strong influence in his life: religion. At 14, he began studying at theological college, but rock and roll and the opposite sex was stronger than his commitment to the church. He was expelled from the seminary and decided to study film at NYU. Making a living from making movies in the glamorous world of Hollywood seemed unattainable to the Scorsese family.
The idea of somebody, and Joe Pesci could understand, coming from neighborhoods we came from, to come and say, well, to tell your parents that you're going to make movies in Hollywood, it's something unreasonable. It's impossible to understand. And one night I heard them talking. We were only in 2.5 rooms, so I could hear everything going on. And she said, I heard my mother tell my father, I think he's crazy. Maybe there's something wrong with him. You know, but hey, they gave him 2 awards at school. Maybe there's something there. What do we know?
In Los Angeles in 2003, Scorsese was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Actors Joe Pesci and Sharon Stone were there to congratulate him. After well-received short films and features, Scorsese's career took flight with 1973's Mean Streets. The movie was autobiographical, focusing on a group of young Italians in New York City. Robert De Niro was unforgettable as Johnny Boy, alongside Harvey Keitel. Together, De Niro and Scorsese would become one of the most influential pairings in film. When not making films, Scorsese is passionate about preserving and restoring them.
These performances, the performances alone, let alone the films, these have to be preserved for future generations, and our medium is something as intangible as this light. And yet we have the film festivals, we have hundreds of millions of dollars going into the industry, and no one was thinking about how to preserve it.
Allora,
madness. Crazy.
From the controversy of Taxi Driver with its highly violent finale to what many call his masterpiece, Raging Bull, again starring De Niro, then on to Cape Fear in 1992. Scorsese's themes of machismo and violence influenced directors of the future, including Quentin Tarantino. An obsessive love of cinema history and the impact of the mean streets of New York City on his personal life have created one of the greatest film careers in history.